From translation, Net New English Translation. This 70th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Joshua 1-4. Joshua chapter 1, verses 1-18. After Moses the Lord's servant died, the Lord spoke to Joshua son of Nun, Moses' assistant. Moses my servant is dead. Now get ready, cross the Jordan River, you and all this people, into the land I am about to give them, to the Israelites. I am handing over to you every place where you set foot, just as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the wilderness and Lebanon to the great river, the Euphrates River, all the land of the Hittites, and westward to the great sea. No one will be able to resist you all the days of your life. I will be with you just as I was with Moses. I will not abandon you or leave you. Be strong and courageous, for you will distribute the land I swore to their ancestors to give them as an inheritance. Just be strong and very courageous to keep and obey all the law that Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, so that you will be successful wherever you go. This law must not leave your lips. You must meditate on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be successful in your activities. I am commanding you, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua then commanded the officers of the people, go through the camp and tell the people, prepare your supplies, for within 3 days you will be crossing the Jordan River to go in to take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess. Joshua said to the Reubenites, Gadites, and half-tribe of Manasseh, your wives, children, and livestock will stay in the land Moses gave you here east of the Jordan River, but all you capable warriors must cross over fully armed ahead of your brothers. You must help them until the Lord gives your brothers a place like yours, and they also take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving them on the other side of the Jordan. Then you may return to the land of your inheritance, and take what Moses the Lord's servant gave you east of the Jordan. They answered Joshua, everything you have commanded us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. We will obey you just as we obeyed Moses. May the Lord your God be with you, just as he was with Moses. Whoever rebels against your authority and does not obey your orders, whatever you command him must be put to death. Be strong and courageous. Joshua chapter 2, verses 1-24. Joshua son of Nun secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go, he said, look over the land, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab, and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, look, some Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. The king of Jericho sent a message to Rahab, bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said, yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they came from. When it was time to close the city gate at dark, the men went out. I don't know where they went. Go after them quickly, and you can catch up with them. But she had taken them up to the roof, and hidden them with the stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof. The men set out in pursuit of them along the road leading to the fords of the Jordan, and as soon as they had left, the city gate was closed. Before the spies lay down for the night, Rahab went up on the roof. She said to the men, I know the Lord has given you this land. We are very afraid of you, and all who live in this land melt in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard about it, our hearts melted, and no courage remained in any man because of you. The Lord your God is the only God in heaven above and on earth below. Now please swear to me by the Lord that as I have shown kindness to you, you will also show kindness to my father's family. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all who belong to them, and save us from death. The men said to her, if you do not betray our mission, we will do this for you when the Lord gives us the land. She let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was built into the city wall, and she lived in the wall. She said to them, go to the hill country, so that the pursuers do not find you. Hide there for 3 days until they return, then go on your way. The men said to her, this oath you made us swear will not be binding on us unless, when we enter the land, you tie this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and gather your father and mother, your brothers, and all your father's household into your house. If anyone goes out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood will be on his own head, but we will not be responsible. As for everyone who is in your house with you, their blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on them. But if you betray our mission, we are free from the oath you made us swear. She said, let it be as you say. She sent them away, and they left. She tied the scarlet cord in the window. They went and came to the hill country, and remained there for 3 days, until the pursuers had returned. The pursuers had searched all along the road, but had not found them. Then the 2 men returned, went down from the hill country, and crossed over. They came to Joshua son of Nun and reported to him everything that had happened to them. They told Joshua, "The Lord has indeed given the whole land into our hands. All the inhabitants of the land are melting in fear because of us." Joshua chapter 3, verses 1 to 17. Early in the morning Joshua and all the Israelites set out from Shittim and came to the Jordan, where they camped before crossing over. After 3 days the officers went through the camp and gave orders to the people. "When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God being carried by the Levitical priests, you are to set out from your positions and follow it. However, stay about 2,000 yards away from it. Do not go near it, so you can see the way you are supposed to go. You have not traveled this way before." Joshua told the people, "Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you." Joshua then said to the priests, "Take up the ark of the covenant and go on ahead of the people." So they took up the ark of the covenant and went ahead of the people. The Lord told Joshua, "Today I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all Israel, so they may know that I am with you just as I was with Moses. You are to command the priests who carry the ark of the covenant, 'When you reach the edge of the Jordan's waters, stand still in the Jordan.'" Joshua said to the Israelites, "Come here and listen to the words of the Lord your God." Joshua continued, "This is how you will know the living God is among you, and that he will surely drive out before you the Canaanites, Hittites, Hivites, Perizzites, Girgashites, Amorites, and Jebusites. Look, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of the whole earth is going to cross over ahead of you into the Jordan. Now then, choose 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 from each tribe." The moment the soles of the feet of the priests who carry the ark of the Lord of the whole earth, touch the water of the Jordan, the water coming downstream from above will be cut off and stand still. When the people left their tents to cross the Jordan, the priests carrying the ark of the covenant went ahead of the people. When they reached the Jordan and their feet touched the water's edge, the Jordan was overflowing all its banks at this time of year. The water coming downstream stood still. It went up in a heap a great distance away, at Adam, a city near Zarethan. The water going down to the Sea of the Arabah, that is, the Dead Sea, was completely cut off. So the people crossed over opposite Jericho. The priests carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood on dry land in the middle of the Jordan, while all Israel crossed on dry ground. Joshua chapter 4, verses 1 to 24. When the whole nation had finished crossing the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Choose 12 men from the people, 1 from each tribe, and command them, 'Take up for yourselves 12 stones from here out of the middle of the Jordan, from the place where the priests' feet stood firmly. Carry these with you and leave them at the place where you camped tonight.'" Joshua summoned the 12 men he had appointed from the Israelites, 1 from each tribe. He told them, "Go into the middle of the Jordan in front of the ark of the Lord your God, and each of you take up a stone on his shoulder, 1 for each of the tribes of the Israelites, so this will be a sign among you. In the future, when your children ask you, 'What do these stones mean?' you should tell them, 'The waters of the Jordan were cut off in front of the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. These stones will be a memorial for the Israelites forever." So the Israelites did as Joshua commanded. They took up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, 1 for each tribe, just as the Lord had instructed Joshua. They carried them with them to the camp and put them there. Joshua also set up 12 stones in the middle of the Jordan, at the place where the priests' feet had stood firmly. They are there to this day. Now the priests who carried the ark remained standing in the middle of the Jordan until everything the Lord had commanded Joshua to tell the people was accomplished. This is what the people had been instructed to do. When all the people had finished crossing, the ark of the Lord and the priests came up from the Jordan. The men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh crossed over, fully armed as they went to battle in front of the Israelites, just as Moses had commanded them. That day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they stood in awe of him all the days of his life, just as they had stood in awe of Moses. The Lord told Joshua, "Command the priests carrying the ark of the testimony to come up out of the Jordan." Joshua therefore commanded the priests, "Come up out of the Jordan." The priests came up from the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet touched dry land. At that moment the waters of the Jordan returned to their normal level and overflowed all its banks. The people came up from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and they camped at Gilgal on the eastern edge of Jericho. Joshua set up those 12 stones at Gilgal that they had taken from the Jordan. He said to the Israelites, "When your children in the future ask their fathers, 'What are these stones?' you should tell your children, 'Israel crossed this Jordan River on dry ground.' For the Lord your God dried up the water of the Jordan before you until you crossed over, just as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up before us until we crossed over. Thus all the nations of the earth will know that the Lord's hand is mighty, and you will fear the Lord your God all the days of your life."